Hello, friends, foes, anyone who wants to just listen in and hear about my game. This is how it starts. So, I have a bunch of. I've been playing. I've been running a game for about 2 months now. God damn. That's horrible. But 2 months now, and I'm going to talk about it. This is just going to be like a little thing I'm going to do, just audio notes and just like seeing how it all works. This is just going to be like not a summary, but I'm telling you exactly what's happening through narration. I'm not going to say what's going to be in like the player discussions or what's all that about, so I'm just going to be narrating. So, the first thing I have is the plot hook. I'm going to start out with the plot hook. I'm going to start out with the opening scenes, and it was just so much. It was so much. So yeah, I'll start with the plot cut. I'll start with the opening scenes, and then in the next video, I'm going straight into narration with how the scenes go, because it could be. I'm going to break it all apart because this is going to be like session 0, if you want to call it that. Session 0, where everyone's characters gets introduced, everything's going to be fine. I'm going to make my own commentary, and yeah. So, starting off the plot hook. All of you are font bearers of the fonts of chaos. Whether or not you believed in being chosen by the gods to protect or destroy the world, it's always been a question after finding it, but never an answer. You've learned how to control it through your own methods, at least enough to not have attracted unwanted attention. Though with these fonts, you still have questions. Why were you chosen? How important were you to be chosen by fate like this? How many others are like you? Questions you haven't found the answers to. But today is your day to find your chance. The Festival of the Skies is the biggest event that happens once every 2 decades in Dayanara. A festival where the streets are full of partying, food, and wine. A time when the stars align perfectly for the gods to touch their hands upon this world once more and should create miracles again. Everyone has hopes to have their questions answered. To commune with the gods, even the most important figures in the country come here to find answers. It's been rare for the gods to interact with anyone directly, but there's always a chance. This may be your chance to answer questions, for them to tell you why you were chosen why you're given a font in your purpose. Today will be a special event for everyone. Who knows what it'll hold for you? That was the plot hook. I know, I'm a terrible writer. Okay, no, I'm not a terrible writer. I'm just terrible at plot hooks. I just can't write to save my life. So, yeah, this is kind of just like my hook to get everyone to choose how their characters would come into being. And I will say that the character creation process for this group was absolutely phenomenal. It was absolutely great. I had so much lore to work with. I was giving ideas out. The players themselves gave so much to work with, and I loved it. There's going to be one guy because he gave me the most amount of, well, the player's name is Cage. His username is Cage. Cage kind of just like, he gave me so much. It was so much. It was funny. It was fun reading. There was just so much. You're gonna hear me say that a lot because honestly, this entire game, there was so much because there was so much lore to work with, but there was also so much because I have so much to say, but I can't give it in like a reasonable amount of time because I'll be talking for hours instead of like, I don't know, 10, 20 minutes. So, yeah. I'm going to go into like the opening scene now. So, yeah, this is going to be where all the characters crop up. Because I'm going to read the opening scene that I put out, and I'm going to read the scenes in order of how the players posted. Because I would put it in like more story formatting, but I'm going to do that with the other videos anyway. So this is kind of just like testing grounds, and yeah. This is my first time ever doing like a audio narration of my games. I've done like voice memos of my games before, so like I have like an audio summary of what everything happened, but this is my first time actually just giving an entire narration, so we'll see how it goes. Dainara, the city of endless mirth. The smell of wine and food overtakes the scent of the seaside. The roar of laughter and cheer are as common as birds chirping in the skies above, and the streets are filled with joyful faces partying as they walk. This is the Festival of the Skies, a day where no matter who you are, no matter what you are, you're free to indulge to your heart's content. This is a day where the gods are closest to impacting the mortal realm directly. So why waste any time worrying when everyone can celebrate when it happens? The heart of Dainara is filled with a massive cluster of people enjoying the vendors throughout the city's central square. Many vendors serve food unique to the cultures of each race in the environments they came from, or chefs from all over to serve everyone. Plenty of vendors are innovators who made devices they want to show off to the public or to aid onto the celebration. Other vendors host games, whether to bet or to have fun. These vendors are adding more chaotic fun. Finally, many vendors are craftsmen and artists who are displaying exhibitions to show off their skills are worth something. Meanwhile, the streets throughout central Dainara don't house many stores. Usually there's too many events to make business meaningful, except for the many bars and taverns around every corner. People here are too quick to reach deep in their pockets for another drink to lose themselves in the fun. And the most popular of these is the Golden Cask Brewery, a little golden structure that stands to brighten up the entire street it's stationed at, with golden light that seems to be straight from Dionysus, with how much people laugh and cheer in the street. Though no one expects anything less from the Church of Dionysus to have the best tavern in the city. Every street stretches on with more taverns to enjoy, as there are performers who people gather around in the chaos of the party. Many set up tents to get attention onto themselves. Other performers can gather a crowd by sheer presence in the street alone. Many performers are great, but none has a crowd greater than these three. The Johnny Artist Troupe, the Ludicrous Priest, and the Yawning Guardian with the Energetic Duck. As for the priests from all over Callion who came to the event, many party and enjoy the festivities, but others are here for the Union of Domains, a meeting where various priests during the Festival of the Skies commune with their gods. Despite this event being hosted by Church of Dionysus, this is a day for all the gods to spend with mortals. With everything going on, the edge of the city holds a collection of various parade floats, each one crafted by passionate individuals that want to spice up this party even further. But the time isn't right to go now. There's still more to enjoy here. After all, there are some special people who need to take their places. And with that, we move on to the introductions. Just existing in Dainara makes Kino hungry. Travel rations are half the size of the steaming packages the residents are carrying home. He's unsure whether to be amused by the abundance or offended by the wastefulness, so he settles into practice indifference, his body numb enough to follow along. Nobody pays him any mind. With his hooded frame and obscured eyes, he is no less strange than the dozen jesters enthralling the crowd. Bright-colored suits and expertly timed laughs. There was debauchery, there was joy, there's a future, and staring at some wobbly patron on her second wine bottle, divinely mandated oblivion. He makes his way toward the food stand, sliding through the busy crowd. Indulgence is rarely his thing, but if he has to cave in once, looking around, several multitudes are queuing, rapidly listening to their vendors' excited dribbles, novel flavors, edible dyes that could blind a bat. He searches for someone less conspicuous, a stand drowned by the flashier and more expensive offerings. From experience, those tend to prove most memorable indeed. And we shift a scene to another character. The air in Dainara smells of wine and wonder. Laughter bleeds from every street, weaving through the music and the thunder of the drums. Outside, people dance until their shadows blur in the torchlight. But inside the Golden Cask Brewery, the noise is gentler. The steady hum of mugs, clinking coins, and songs too old for their singers to remember. Trez sits in the far corner beneath a brass lantern, sleeves rolled down despite the heat. His fingers trace a copper earring on the table, eyes lost in the slow curl of foam in his untouched drink. Around him, the crowd sways and shouts to priest toast to Dionysus, but his gaze stays focused on the doorway, as if waiting for someone to arrive. He's been here 3 days, helping with the festival rush. Brannick, the old dwarf behind the counter, insisted, saying, "A quiet man knows his way around barrels worth 10 apprentices." Trez didn't argue. Brooke keeps his mind from wandering. Outside, the festival climbs toward madness. The pure joy and laughter spill through the open windows until even Trez can't ignore it. He looks outside a window and watches the golden light ripple across the tables and almost smiles. Almost. Then a voice cuts through the noise. Two patrons near the counter laughing over their drinks. Said he came back. After all these years, can't you believe it? The words mean nothing, but the tone hits something very deep. A faint glimmer pulses beneath Trez's skin, gone before anyone notices. Go enjoy the festival, Brannick says with a smirk. You've one that's frowned long enough. Trez's lips curve just enough to be mistaken for a smile. He tugs his gloves back on, eyes still glued to the window. Maybe later. The city's loud enough without me. And so he continues to watch through the window, where the revelers swirl through the streets like fireflies in a storm. The distant music thrumming in time with quiet, steady heartbeat beneath his ribs. And then, our scene shifts again to another character. The throng of pedestrians pressed in from every direction as she tried to make her way down the street. An opening would appear, a gap between moving bodies on unseen paths, and then vanish in an instant, the opportunity gone in a moment. She used to know the steps to this dance, enjoyed the energy of chaos of city streets, but that was before. Now she stood frozen, unsure, frightened. Though the latter she denied to herself, refused to acknowledge she had fallen so far, that she had changed so much in 10 years. Shoulders tense and jaw clenched, she dove into the sea of festival goers. Motion was best. Action was needed. Otherwise, she'd be frozen and incapable of moving forward. She had a reason for entering this madness, one that was important enough for her to truly test her control, and test it she was. Her shadow itched. It began to stretch, seeking magic. But Chris strengthened her resolve, took a deep breath and pulled it back, soothed it. Then a scene shifts to our final character in this scene. Mars stands a head taller than the rest of the crowd, a curse, or perhaps a blessing perhaps, of her Goliath heritage. Red scales mar her face from the tops of her cheekbones to her hairline, horns sprouting from the top of her head. The woman wears the robes of an acolyte to Athena, loose, fitted well for combat as well as servitude to her goddess. A silver owl medallion hanging from her neck. She felt pulled here into this throng of people. Why? Looking down, she puts a hand into the pockets of her robes. She pulls free a salt shaker? What? She shakes her head with annoyance, putting it back into the pockets. Food it is, she supposes. And that is where I will leave off for now. That was all of our characters introduced. We had Kino, Trez, Chris, and Mars in this first scene of the setup of the Festival of the Skies. That will be it for now. So, if you're interested in listening further, I will post another one soon. Thank you.